TCS Radar, episode 13. We're going to get right into it, condensed format, get right into the players. So we got our first player is representing St. Paul, supreme athlete out of St. Paul. Who you got, OD?
Yes, sir. So we're going to big up the alma mater one time, the alumni, St. Paul Central, with the young gentleman, Allan Lankford Jr., all right? Kid's a pure stud out there, pure stud, okay? Both sides of the ball, offense and defense. They got him playing quarterback right now, but honestly, coaches, I'm telling you, you can put that kid anywhere, running back, slot wide receiver, quarterback, wherever you need him to be, he can go out there and accomplish things for you. So we're just going to go over a couple things he's done already on the football field this year as a dual threat quarterback. Okay, so recently against Washburn, they unfortunately took a loss. They are 0-3 this year, but it's not really because of his play. He had 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing. Versus Kennedy, he had 3 rushing touchdowns against them. And then versus Matamidi, he had 1 passing touchdown. And we know Matamidi is tough. And then, like I said, he's on both sides of the ball. My young guy gets after it. 34 total tackles on the defense. 2 tackles for a loss, 4 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles. And that's only in 3 games. So, that's a little over 10 tackles a game for him already. So, he's all over on the field, especially on the defensive side, that safety, D-back. Again, he can do whatever you need for him out there, coaches. Linebacker, corner, safety. He's your guy, you know what I'm saying? I love my young guy's game. He plays very hard, plays real tough. Reminds me a lot of his older brother. So, he's almost like a spitting image of that man. And then offensive, also, my guy gets busy on basketball, okay? So last season on the court, he averaged 19 points per game. He helped lead St. Paul Central to a city conference championship. He had some big games, 29 versus Como, 32 versus Highland Park, 23 and 26 versus Johnson. He had 25 versus Washburn in that Twin Cities game. And then he finished with 23 versus Cretin in the section finals loss. So, again, my guy is out there doing it all, both sides of the ball. That's offense and defense on football and offense and defense on basketball. So, whatever you need, my guy got you.
Oh, yeah. So, we got 2 Totino Grace players. The first one we got is Theo Thomas. So, Theo Thomas is a defensive lineman / tight end. And this guy's good. He's committed to the University of Northern Iowa currently. And, yeah, he's going to be one of those guys, again, where you don't quite know where he's going to play on the next level. He's going to be on the D-line more than likely, but he's going to be rushing on the edge, or he's going to be more in the middle, gain some weight. In the middle, it's going to be interesting. But either way, the way that he bull rushes on film, saw his junior highlight film, looked really good, very mobile. Saw a few highlights from games this year as well, so he's still looking good, still looking healthy. And so this is a very good player to look out for. He's a very good player to look out for. And so last year, Totino Grace was 7-4, and they lost to Hutchinson in the Class 4A quarterfinal, and they actually got redemption last week against Hutchinson, beating them in OT. But, yeah, over his junior and sophomore seasons, he recorded around 50 tackles for 3 sacks. Now, don't be fooled by these stats, though, because as a D lineman and a D1 D lineman, you might expect him to have a bunch of sacks, but it's the stats that don't get recorded that matter, the bull rushes and how many pass rushes that he forced and things of that nature. So, very good player. Looks like he was getting recruited by Montana State as well before he committed to Northern Iowa. But, yeah, so we're going to look out for him. On the tight end side, I don't really see as many stats for his receiving, but just him being out there shows his versatility and athleticism. So we're going to be looking out for Theo going forward. And then the second Totino Grace player we got today, J.O., what you got?
Yes, sir. We got Josiah JoJo Young, another player, like I said, from Totino Grace. Definitely got some offers from D1, as he said, signed to UNI, but has some offers from Miami, Ohio, University of Ohio, South Dakota State, and Western Michigan. Nice frame for a cornerback. Plays some wide receiver too. Has 2 touchdowns on the season already. Know that cornerback is his main position. He has one catch for 25 yards and a TD in his first game against Fridley, and then he had 2 catches for 16 yards and a TD in his second game. Didn't really get any looks, but he got that get back and definitely had a couple stops on that overtime win. Definitely, like I said, nice high points the ball, and he will come up and make a tackle. Also helped Totino Grace win their 3rd state championship in the last couple years. In the state tournament, he averaged 5 points and 2 rebounds, and had a nice game against De La Salle with 6 points and 5 rebounds coming off the bench, I believe. Definitely a player to look forward to. We're going to try to catch a game. Definitely with these two on defense, looking to try to shut out some teams. But like you said, got their get back last week against Hutch. Definitely was a game to see. Hopefully we're going to have some highlights for y'all. But 21-20 in overtime.
Yes. And JoJo's one of those guys, like you said, in the basketball court, very athletic. Saw a couple highlights, him dunking and whatnot. Very lanky guy at corner. Those lanky corners, they be deceivingly aggressive.
100%.
And so, yeah, it's going to be nice to see how he pans out for sure. All right. Now for the player of the week.
We back. TCS Radar Twin City Sports Player of the Week, man. We just highlighting the players who we feel deserve this award going off of what they did in the field that past week. Because, we were a little bit behind with the schedules, I know. So bear with us, man. But this week, we're going to start it in. You know what time it is, man. We got Kevon Johnson, man, Player of the Week. Senior running back from Robbinsdale, Armstrong, man. This man is a monster. Had 25 carries for 191 yards, 4 touchdowns versus their rival Cooper. He also, as a junior, had 229 carries for 1,500 plus yards and 16 rushing touchdowns just to go along with those stats. He also had 7 catches for 60 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. So the boy is kind of active. You kind of put him, on that. Yeah. Well, he's real good. He got like 1 receiving touchdown worth 60 yards. So he's kind of like a real dual back, and that's real valuable to have, especially in the game where you look at the NFL where running backs are kind of coming extinct. They're like dying dinosaurs at this point. A lot of people ain't trying to put money in them. So it's good that you can see that he's able to at least catch the ball, unlike the Eagles running back. But anyway, he's a very elusive back, very explosive, and very hard to catch in the open field. He's one of them dudes you catch in the open field. If you're a defender, you got your girl, your family at the game, you're going to be worried about what move you're going to make because you possibly could be on the wrong end of an Instagram post. So you got to worry about that with guys like him, man. But he has a very, very good potential. I'm looking very forward to seeing him really just kill this year. We're definitely going to check out some of his games. Hopefully, that'd be crazy. He might be the first one to make Player of the Week twice on here. We never know, man. We never know. But like I said, man, we'll just be a real fun journey just to watch him and his football career grow. We think that he's a very promising running back in the future, and we'll go from there, man. So again, man, Player of the Week, shout out to you, man, Kevon Johnson. Let's go!